Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Wanted to hit a topic that I don't know if I've hit this in a while, but you know, and it's about how these experiences affect pretty much everybody the same way, regardless of your, I would say, your marital status, your kid status. The crazy reality on this is when you are in a relationship with a toxic, narcissistic person who is engaged in continual emotional abuse, it is hard to separate from that person. I think it's easier for people who have kids or for people to look at it and go, oh, okay, well, you can't co-parent with this person, you have children, so you can't get away from them. That it makes it so much harder. The reality is that even if you don't have kids, and I've worked with people who are in this category, it's still really hard. You would think if you don't have kids, you don't have a lot of assets or anything to really hang on to, that it should be a relatively quick experience. You get the divorce done, you move on, you get your life back. But the reality is that whenever you're in a relationship with someone like this, it creates what people call a trauma bond, and it keeps you connected to these people. You could be in a relationship with them for 2 years or 2 decades, and you're still going to go through that same experience afterwards. Now, don't get me wrong. When you do have children with somebody like this, it makes it a lot more complicated, and you can't break free because now you have kids, so you're going to have some connection and you're going to have some reminder. So it makes it a lot tougher. But the reason I want to make this video today is I see people struggle with dealing with other people in their lives who are telling them, you just need to get over it. You need to let it go. You need to do this. You need to do that. Why are you still ruminating? Why aren't you, yada, yada. And the reality is most people who haven't been through this have no understanding of how hard this is. And if you have a long or short relationship, and if you're telling people that it was abusive, they're going to think, oh, well, then great. You should be happy that you're out of it. And it should be, you should be like, dancing in the streets that you broke free. Reality is it's not that easy. So if you are in a situation where you are struggling with this, where you are just out of a toxic relationship, but you don't have any kids, you don't have anything that really should connect you, and then you're wondering, why in the world am I still ruminating about this? Why am I so stuck on this? That's the reason why. When you have a trauma bond, it totally screws you up. And it's really hard to break free from. Now remember, these relationships do not typically start out as toxic. These people morph into becoming who you always wanted in life. They tell you everything you want to hear. They demonstrate everything you want to see, and it feels genuine. And if you come from a broken family or you come from some childhood trauma, that gets right down into the meat of what you've always wanted in your life, and it's like a drug. You want that badly. You want that validation, that love, that mystical person that they portray to be. You want it to be real. And then slowly, over days, weeks, or months, some situations over years, that will, because they can't maintain the facade, that will morph into more of who they really are. But you are stuck chasing after what that illusion was. Now, the thing is that you're chasing that illusion, but then when you get to the discard and your relationship explodes, you are left shell-shocked trying to figure out what in the world happened, why it happened. And it's hard to break free from. I wish every one of you watching this right now could look at this and go, oh my God, that person was toxic. They really did a number on my life. I am so glad and grateful to have broken free, and I see nothing but, good times ahead. No, just be clear, you will have good times ahead, but it's not that easy. You have to still process all of this. You have to work through it. You have to accept it. I have a couple of videos that help with that. Go to my main YouTube channel, scroll down to the first playlist, which is the Mindset for Narcissistic Abuse Recovery. Look for the videos called Absolute Thinking and Black Hole Thinking. Those two videos and those two techniques are critical in helping you to break through this part of this. Absolute thinking, really the crux of that is when you're thinking about, or when you start ruminating it, you want your mind to kick in and say, well, this person has a problem, probably a personality, not even probably. In the video, I say you absolutely make a 100% as fact judgment call and treat it as if you've got a diagnosis. Because anytime there's a question, anytime you're not sure, it will drive you crazy. You'll be like, oh, they're not really this. Oh, I'm just exaggerating it. Oh, I'm doing this or doing that. And it just holds you back. You need to be able to say, they're NPD, cluster B, and that's it. So every time you wonder, why are they doing this? It's like NPD. Oh, okay. And then after a while, you get to the point where, you can say, why do they? And then in your mind, you've already answered the question, and it'll get to the point where it happens so fast that it doesn't happen, where it doesn't even, it's like automatic. But in the beginning, you start out and it's not. You ruminate about it, and you have to tell yourself this, and you're trying to convince yourself of what that reality is. And you have to do that. You have to convince yourself of what is really going on. Black hole thinking is the technique that helps you stop ruminating about what's going on with the ex, about their life. It does no good for you to look at them and say, oh my God, they're happy, or oh my God, they found their soulmate, or oh my God, they're traveling the world. It doesn't matter, and you got to stop thinking about it, because it doesn't help you. It hurts you. Anyways, bottom line on this is, if you are out of a toxic relationship and you are having a horrendous time trying to break free, understand that is the normal process. It sucks, but it's the normal process. You're going to have to break that trauma bond, and you're going to have to start healing those wounds. If you go to my website, dadsurvivingdivorce.com/resources, I have a couple of books that were really helpful for me. I had some hypnosis files that were really helpful for me. There's a mean workbook that I did with Paul Colaianni from The Overwhelmed Brain that helps you dive down and determine if you're actually in a toxic relationship. Unfortunately, a lot of people who come, at the early stages of this, even if you're looking at this stuff online, you do not fully believe the reality. You think that you must be wrong, or you're exaggerating, or whatever. So look at those things that could potentially help. But the underlying message I want to say is, this takes time. Time is not days. Time is weeks, months, potentially years. That's annoying, but you know what? A couple of years to get yourself healed from this, to where you're free from it. You're free from that toxic infinite do loop, which also means you have better boundaries, which means you will not allow yourself to get into another toxic relationship. You'll have more self-worth on that. You'll have better boundaries. It just makes your life a whole lot better. So take a deep breath. I understand that this is incredibly hard, but it's not your forever. And if you are struggling with this, you're not broken. You're not abnormal. You're not, the person that's fallen through the cracks that will never be healed. You can heal from this. And what you're experiencing is incredibly common. After 5 years of this, almost 40,000 subscribers, and a ton of coaching calls, these patterns repeat, meaning that I've seen multiple people feel stuck, feel unable to escape, feel focused on the wrong things, and are able to work through that, get their lives back. And I'll tell you, for me personally, it is outstanding to be able to watch people go from those dark days to the other side of this. I mean, and even to the point where they move on and they're no longer active members or even subscribers of the channel. It's a wonderful thing to see people get their lives back. And on that, if you happen to be one of those people, scroll down below, subscribe to my camping channel so that we can stay in contact on a completely topic not related to anything. And hopefully you can see me live a different life and I can hear about your amazing life. On that, I'll catch you on the next video, and take care.